Okay. All right. So let me share now. All right. Okay, so the other time we looked at basic HTML, and it's what we are going to proceed with. And we used this as our trial. Open with code. Okay. So I hope you can see my screen. Can you see my screen? Hello.
Yeah, we can see your screen. I can
All
see
right.
your
So
screen.
the other time we looked at how we can create links, and if you can create something like this, then it means you can create as many links as you want. So about links, that is it. About links, this is what we do. And we also talked about the title. The title is what appears here. Where is the... Okay, the title is what appears here, up here. When you click in something, sales quotation, bandwidth, adjustment, something like this, what appears up there is what you put under the title. So those who are not around, I think you got the recordings, and I hope now we are at par. Now we also talked about paragraphs and the headings. Those things we talked about them, and we talked about divisions and classes. So we call these inside these elements, we can call a class, and a class takes something like a parameter. So in the CSS, this is what you call to edit anything inside here, to edit this thing, whatever text you have put there. That is the role of class. So this means that whenever you have any kind of paragraph you wish to edit distinctively, then it would actually mean that you need to call it to give it a class, and then you inside there you put anything that you record the other side. So you can refer to any word or any kind of text, and then you call it. So when we are calling in CSS and we are called by class, we say dot share this thing here. And if we have called by a div, then we put hash share. So when we call it like this, then we start to put in arguments for CSS. For example, yes, boss.
Sorry to disturb you. Pardon on that. You said when you have a div.
When we have a division,
an ID.
Yes, when we have a division, okay, let's try it practically here. A div, I have called a division, and inside that division, I have put a paragraph. Okay, I have put a paragraph, and I've put the word Shafiq inside that paragraph. If I want to edit this division, I'll come inside that element for division, and then I call a class, and I name that class inside. For example, something like PA1, anything. So this PA1 is what I'll call in the CSS file, provided now we have created style.css. So in style.css, I'll call it like dot PA1, and in those brackets, I now come with I now put the arguments that will edit this kind of division here. So remember, when you create something like this now, you have to link You have to link it. That is why it is giving us this. Okay, so if we put it in the font size 32 pixels. Now we have to link. The error was coming because there was no argument, and when we put the argument, the error goes out. So for purposes of classes, we can only understand these classes when we have actually linked this. So in order to link this, we come in the header, and then we say link. You just type in link because this is an editor. IDE is intelligent and it knows these are already defined words. So when you say link, it will put rel, and then it will give you that what the parameters this is taking is a style sheet, and style sheets are majorly CSS cascading style sheet, cascading style sheet. So in the href we put in this thing. So if this is in a subfolder, then we can, if it is in a subfolder, for example, if we have CSS as a folder and this thing is inside here, we are moving it inside there, you see, and it is inside here. If it was not inside, then we would say style.css. But given that it is inside this file, this folder, where is it? It's on desktop. Okay, let's go on desktop and open it. So now we have created a folder here, CSS, and inside CSS there is that. So this would work if it was just next to this, just next to this. But given that it is in a folder, we shall first put the folder and then we slash. So the ID, it tells you that inside this folder, these are the elements that are inside. So you just select. And if, for example, if we had another folder, others, and in others, that is where the CSS is. The CSS is there, and we have this in another, in the our trial folder, and inside our trial folder there is style sheet, and now the index is in a folder, and now we want to call this one. Remember to come back to this because the index is here. So which argument do we give in to come back to this? So what we do there is that by going back, that is what we do. By going back, that is what we do. And then we specify where it is. So because it is only one step back, this is the file, and because it is one step back, we shall only put this only once, and we put in style.css. So we link it like that. This means that where there is this index file, you move one step back, you move one folder back. That is what it means. So this is some other good basic we must know of. Even when we are in PHP or another web scripting language, this applies. If you want to go back a certain directory, that is what you do. Even when you are in Kali Linux, or you are using any distribution, and you print a working directory, and then you want to move back to folders, then this is what you actually do. Put to others, something like that. So it is a basic we need to put in our heads. Okay, so I want to put these things back, and this was in CSS. Okay, and we have the HTML there. All right, so they are back there. And what we do here is that I'll put the CSS there, CSS there. So we have now linked, and this means whatever changes we make here will be seen on our index.html. So we want to come and open this. So now I have to remove these things here. They are not related. So we called a division, and inside that division, we put a class. Classes are used to help us edit. Classes and divs help us edit. So if we have called PA1, it means this div will be the one that will actually be edited when you come to this file. So we can decide to display in any way, or flex or another way, and it does that. So it does as instructed. Now that is how we call this division to help us. And if it was an ID that we have used, same thing, ID, same. Now for this means that when we come to this file, we shall say hash. They only change from a dot to a hash. If you are calling a division, if you are calling an ID, then you use a hash. And if you are calling a class, you use a dot. Dot, the name you have put passed as a parameter, then you start the formatting. There are different kinds of formattings. You can, just like you go in Microsoft Word and you bold, you italicize, you make that thing nice. This is what happens here. The difference is here you just type in commands, and the commands are the ones that are executed so that you can see color red or something. Now these elements here, these ones, whichever elements, now we want to learn these basics so that we don't waste a lot of time. We shall always get templates and work on them. But now these basics are very important, because even when you get a template and you don't have these basics, you find that things might not work out for you. Now, I was talking about the difference between a div and a class, how we call them. And now there is something about these elements, the paragraphs, the heading one, these ones that are already defined. Now, whenever I want to call these ones, that are already defined, what we do, wait. So what we do is that with these ones, we don't need, sometimes when you want to, for example, you have paragraphs and you want to apply a unique styling about on the paragraphs. Now here, it becomes more simpler because the IDE knows a paragraph. So you just say P, and in a P, change the font color. Okay, font face. Go back. Let's call it color. We put them in red. Now the IDE will make all the paragraphs red. And if you want to change the size, say font size, change the font size to any pixels. So all the paragraphs will change to any font font size. If you want to bold them, if you need to bold, there is that B. We call it a B. A B is also known inside here. If you want to bold something, you just come to it here, and then you you apply a B on each, this one, put a B like that, and inside there, space. So we bring now this one that we want to bold, put it inside here. So when you move to Shafiq, Shafiq will be bolded. The B stands for bold, and the I stands for italics. Then we have the strong. Strong makes a word look strong, just like the word itself. So if we want to also test the strong, we come and copy this and paste it here. And instead of a B, we say space strong. Strong. And inside strong, we put Shafiq. Shafiq. And then this is now necessary. And then we see what it makes it. Now you see, if you don't use bold, you can use strong. They apply the same formatting. Are we together? Hello, are you there?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. So, about these simple things, we need them. We need to know them, and we need to know where we put them, because that is what is more important. You can get a template anywhere, and the most important thing is to know how to edit it to anything you want. So now there is some other thing about CSS we need to know before we jump to something else. There are different kinds of stylings. Now, this kind of styling we have used is called an external styling, whereby we link the file, an external file, this one here, and then we bring it here. So that makes it an external file. Then we have what we call inline CSS. How does inline CSS look like? Now, the inline CSS looks like this. Let's have an example of actually a paragraph. And inside the paragraph, we write Shafiq. When we write this and we want it to be in blue, So what we do, we come inside the little element, the element P here. We create space there, and then we write the little word style. After writing the word style and then press enter, it will give you the editing equals and then the quotes, and we shall say color blue, because we want it in blue, like that. Now, after doing this, we expect that this word should be in blue, because we have asked the paragraph, and inside the paragraph we have specified that let this thing be in blue. And then if you want it to be if you want to pass in another styling, if you want to pass in another styling, you come here. After that, then you call maybe background color, put in red. You see, now this is inline CSS. This is how we do the inline CSS. And after having done this, we want to come here and we see, yes, it has done it. You see here, Shafiq, and it is having a background color. So now this background, you have put a background, and sometimes you may need to edit these backgrounds and so on. So those ones we shall edit them. We shall edit them with type. So now this is inline CSS. So you can pass as many arguments as you want with this. Now there is another kind of CSS called internal CSS. Let's consider a heading 2. And inside a heading 2, we say this is an internal CSS example. So now this one here, let us give it an ID, okay? Because it is internal and we need to tell the style sheet that we, in all this script, pick out anything that has an ID, labeled this, and edit it in this and this way. So let us give it the name. Okay, let's put fic. Now we have made this kind of statement appear that inside this element there is some content. This is an internal CSS example, and we want to format this. We want to edit it. And now we shall come here out of the body and we type in the word style. Now you see, this is different from the editing we did here. The editing is different because this one has no closing tag. This one has no closing tag, but this has closing tag. So inside here, we call the ID hash. We said the ID is called by hash. Hash fic, and inside the fic, we say color green. We give it a border. Give it a border. No, border is like this. Border. The border to be 5 pixel in red, and it must be a solid. So let's see what solid means. I want to see what it has done. Yes, it has done something like this. This is an internal CSS. But now the border is very long up to this side. So what do we do with it? Let us put a border radius of 5 pixels, and we see what it does. Okay. The left of the border, let's give it 56 pixels. Oh, okay. But I think these ones we shall edit them when we come to a live example. They might consume a lot of time if we try to edit this into something like a small box or a small click, something like a button. So now this is the internal. It resides inside, but it is not in line with the element. So the one that is in line with the element appears like this, and the one that is internal appears like that. So any questions there about this? The kind of, any way you have to style this, their pages? Okay. If there is no way, then we have looked at links and other things. We want to look at one more thing, and then we shall I'll share some content that we shall read, and by tomorrow we shall review that. How do we put in images? By putting in an image, come to your folder, first organize the image, put in a new folder called IMG, and this will hold the images, and then move to anywhere you have the image, get that image from there, something like this one, put it in your folder, in your folder here, downloads. In your folder, where's our folder? Okay, it got lost. Now let's go and find it here. Okay, so right here. Now get your image here and rename it properly. My trial. Now you have put it there. You have put it under IMG. Now you come to your editor and declare when we want to insert an image, put IMG, and then the source, we are given the word SRC. This one tells us, informs us to show where to locate the image. The image is in IMG. They give you the folder. You just click in the folder, and inside that folder, you click in any image you want, given that you renamed it properly. And the alternative here, if that the alternative is if the image does not load, what should be presented to the user? Maybe check your internet. Check your internet. So let's go and see this. Has the image come? Yes, it has come, but it is so big. So there, can edit that image in any way you want. And then that means you can apply the so-called inline CSS. That is simpler. And what do we do then? Same thing. Inside this one, you just say style. Now we want to reduce the height, the height and width. This is just simple things. Width, maybe 200 pixels, and then the height, you declare also the height, also maybe 300 pixels, just like that. Then when you refresh, we expect it to be smaller, you see? Smaller like that. Now, this one, you can apply a border so that it removes this one. It becomes a bit nice. Border radius of maybe 80 pixels. 80 pixels, you see. So this is how we can make these things nicer and nicer, and then they become beautiful, make nice looking sites. So these are the basics, some of the basics we need, because we shall get templates and then we try to work with them. So next tomorrow, I'm going to first send you something in the on our WhatsApp platform, and then by tomorrow we shall work upon that. So today I suggest that we stop here. If there is any question, kindly feel free to ask before we close. Are there any questions? So I'm going to copy the whole of this thing here. Okay, I'm going to zip. I'll zip it and share with you. I think I know I've been fast, but I'll share this with us. Then we try to reflect on it. Inline CSS, internal CSS, external CSS, how we put in images, how we edit images, how we call divisions, how we call classes. These are strong basics, how we link these things. Now, the way you have linked this one, you'll always link other files. You'll always link other files. Yes. Yes, yes. So if we want this image to be as to be our image, just like you see this thing here, this car edge here, we bring it in the header, because this is the header. This one, the head. So what we do is we'll link. Now This link here is different. Link, the parameters we put there is, okay, let's first put in link. Now, what we put here is an icon. Put there an icon, and then we declare where it is in images. So we want to refresh, and that we expect this to be here, something like this. So I think you can see that the image has also, that it has changed. So this is what will appear when you come to search that site. Example, if you come and you want to search something like this, this thing you see here, this one is what we have put, here. So whatever you put here using this argument is what will appear. So are there any questions so far? Because we actually we want to wind up this session. I don't know if there are any questions. Hello. So if there are no questions, I kindly suggest to stop here, and we meet tomorrow.